Frameshift drive charging. Frameshift drive charging. Ready to engage. 4, 3, 2, 1. Engage. Fuel skipping. Fuel scoop disengaged. Frameshift drive charging. Fuel skipping. Fuel scoop disengaged. Frameshift drive charging.
You can't hear me, obviously. You can. Oh. Oh well, hello both of you.
4, 3, 2, 1. Engage.
Well, I only talk when I've got something to say, so.
Fuel skipping.
Cyber A. Oh, that's fair enough. No, I think this is the first time I've done the whole friends, wing,
Fuel scoop
open play bit.
Frameshift drive charging.
I've been a solo player, just pootling about on my own. Cool, I'm quite happy to be part of this week, you know. Maybe something will come of it.
Fuel scoop disengaged. Frameshift drive charging.
Well, I've got nearly 300 million, so money's not really a problem. No.
4, 3, 2,
tab backwards and forwards. Yeah, I hit the Windows key on the keyboard and drop onto my desktop. Yeah, it's not a problem. Yeah. I've tried bordering it, but you know when I moved my mouse over, I was finding I was going on to Microsoft Word or something. I'm not very geeky. You lot always leave me in awe with the things, you know. Yeah. No. Well, okay, I'll just hit the Windows button. Desktop. Open up Firefox. Go to YouTube. Back to the bubble, yeah. For watching. And we're up. Actually, government news. I can see it's both government news, community goals, logbooks. Is that it? I use trade elite. You trade elite. Are you trade elite? I'm not far behind you, but like me, you're non-combatant, aren't you? I hear you. I know what you mean. Okay, I see it. I'll give it a look-see. But I'm going to switch the stream off because I get the voice doubled up. When you speak here, it comes over on the stream about 10 seconds later. Yeah, there's a delay. So, yeah, I'll try that in a bit later. And now back to this little system that has got some more water world in for me. Now this is a different one. I've been hurtling about, jumping, and I found another that's not claimed. I'm like, if you have a look, I'm down below the bubble. I'm burning to the bottom of the galaxy. Well, everybody goes up, along, left, right. There's not actually many go down. You still got to go nearly 2k out, 2,000 light years before you get rid of the casual explorers. Yeah, I learned a lot about the game lore, what went on, what's going on, and how to look after myself out here and where places are. I've never, interacted with the other players, other than argue with them on the forum. Your mic is picking up on the stream.
Fuel scooping.
Yeah, Cyber's just said it.
Fuel scoop disengaged. Frameshift drive charging.
Well, hang on, I'm 61 years old. and I predate computers. So I've played everything from Dungeons and Dragons right through to this. Absolutely everything. I've got World of Tanks, Warships, War Thunder. I've tried that Fractured Space. Just anything really. But I'm playing this game in a non-combatant mode. I've shot every tank, aircraft and shit you can think of. I don't know how many zombies I've left dead all over the place, and I just got tired of shooting things.
Right.
I've got battle fatigue.
Yeah. I was actually yeah, I can understand. Before this, I was playing quite a lot of the Division, which is a kind of shooting game as well. So I kind of went backwards and forwards between that and Elite, and then I don't know what it was. I was getting a bit bored of Elite for some reason. I think it was because of the grind actually, and then I found those passenger missions, which I made a ton of money off. And then since then, I've been able to kind of buy and kit out ships as I choose, and so I can kind of, it feels like I can forge a path that I want to forge now, which is nice.
Yeah, when the money stops being an objective, that's when the game kicks off.
Yeah, I think so, and sometimes I think Frontier don't truly realise that. I mean, for somebody who's only going to play PvP and blow people up, they are going to get bored easily if they're rich, but that's their problem, not mine.
It's not my problem either.
So sorry, go on.
It just suits me. I'm actually watching. It's like the passive observer. I'm watching how the game unfolds. I'm watching the Thargoids and Guardians and like the story coming out over a period of time. Everyone thinks it's not fast enough. Oh, I can see why it's coming out so slowly.
Yeah, I was saying to CyberSec in the stream last night, what I would like to see is actually Frontier hire somebody to kind of work daily on the kind of news side of it, not necessarily just the story, but actually kind of report back with news things. So if there's a load of griefers hanging around outside a station, then maybe their commander name gets broadcasted so that everybody knows who it is and either goes after them or avoids them. I think there's a bit of room there to kind of give people a daily fill, but you don't have to move the overarching story forward.
Yeah. Well, Late Radio could do a traffic report.
Oh yeah, they do actually, yeah.
Heavy griefers in such and such a system.
You know, I think that's a good thing about Live and all these other things, but the sad part is most people don't know about a lot of the extra bits, especially the parts that are separate from Frontier.
Oh, that's been one of the arguments on the forums for ages, that the game doesn't have... You've used EDDB, haven't you?
Yeah, I mean, pretty much know most of the major websites. I do come across a new one every now and again, but...
Yeah. But there's nothing like EDDB in the game, and we shouldn't have to keep going out to other websites to play the game.
They are trying to. They are in the next update. They are including something that works like EDDB.io, but I think now they have to be really careful, because I really like that website and I really respect the people who put the work into it. So I don't want.
Superb job.
Yeah, you don't want Frontier kind of coming along and basically closing down the website because they've got. Then you can do the same thing in game.
Yeah, can you understand? I totally see that. You know, like, I'm still going to use it. I don't care what Frontier bring out. I'm still going to use EDDB. But considering the technology we've got, you should be able to check where a different ship is. You shouldn't have to go from system to system looking for a particular ship. It's like a car showroom. We've got computers. Surely you'd be able to type in a particular ship and you'd see where it's coming in at what price.
Yeah, shop around and whatnot.
Yeah, because it's such a capitalist-orientated game in the galaxy, role-wise. Why are none of the systems competing?
Yeah, one of the videos I actually made was where somebody was talking. Sorry, I was talking there and I didn't press my button. Yeah, no, I totally know where you're coming from. There was a guy who wrote a really good piece. I can't remember what video it was I did it in. I'll just check on my video manager. Where he did this huge thing in the Frontier forums, where he was basically complaining about the fact that the game doesn't act like a capitalist system.
No.
And he was saying pretty much the same thing. He was saying there should be supply and demand based on, for example, an area which has, or a system that has loads and loads of metal planets should maybe be producing more things metal at a cheaper price.
Or even the ships that are on sale at the appropriate stations. So if you wanted a heavy cargo ship, you'd go to an agriculture. If you wanted a mining ship, you'd go to a refinery.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it makes total sense. That I actually think that they program it in the opposite direction.
Yeah.
Just to make you grind that little bit extra.
You go to high tech and they've only got up to grade 2 or something like that. So it makes no sense.
It makes sense to them if they want you to grind, I suppose.
Well, that's my rant anyway. It's not truly capitalist.
Yeah, that's what CyberSec's saying, like, Eve has every single supply and demand thing, yeah. I'm sure they'll have to work it in at some point. They'll have to sit down and look at it seriously. I mean, I was just saying last night that, sorry, go on. No, you go on.
Another one was the ships themselves. It's alright having these basic model ships. Why is there no system or station saying, bring your ship here, we'll gut it and rebuild it?
Oh, that's an idea.
You know, like, why have a load of shipbuilders said, well, let's set our own system and bring in your Python, we'll strip out the optionals and rebuild them.
Yeah, or I was surprised to hear in the stream, because I'd never looked it up, but in the Frontier stream yesterday or the day before, can't remember now. I was really surprised that they don't tell you the home system of the various shipbuilders.
You can find that out if you do the passenger missions to the visitor beacons. This is what I was saying, this is how you find out the law. Excuse me. It'll tell you who's bankrolling. There's one about a bank and its history, and there's one about Lakecom and about Sirius. and that's how you find out where they are. Like
right.
up shipyards. They're for the Alliance.
Ah, okay. I think I was saying last night that I'd never actually been doing the singular passenger missions, but I had a feeling that some part of the story was hidden behind them, and that maybe there's a lot of destinations that are maybe hidden behind those missions as well.
Yes, there are, believe me. There's a lot of the backstory out on those visitor beacons. A lot of them have just come to this system to have a bath.
Right.
You know, we'll scrub you back, but there's also a lot of the ones that are not.
That's,
It's the way they've done it. You have to search and grind for every single snippet of information.
yeah, I know. Have you ever tried to go out and listen to the tapes on the oh, I've forgotten the name of them. Not the history ships. You know, the ships that are kind of broken down in the middle of nowhere, and you can go and listen to the tapes. Yeah. They can be a real...
The diaspora, where they all try to colonise.
I can't remember which ones I've listened to now.
Yeah, I did. I went out, but there's only half a story. There's only half the ship's been found. Supposedly, there's either more out there, or we've got colonies out in the void that we don't know about.
Ah, right, okay.
You know, we didn't... Yeah, like Cyber says, a lot of those visitor beacons are just come here to have your toenails clipped.
Right. Yeah, I can't...
Unidentified signal source out here.
Oh, that's interesting. Maybe a Thargoid. You should go check it out.
Where are you? Come on.
Might be a Thargoid.
No, degraded emissions. It's going to be a data package. I hope it's a big one. They're worth about 90 grand.
Oh, wow.
Well, it depends where you go, between 30 and 90 grand. The big ones. That's why I like to take Clint out with me.
Yeah, I was thinking about, you know, I didn't know exactly how I'm going to use that clipper that I'm going to name after you. So I wasn't sure exactly how I'm going to set it up. But you've given me a few ideas of how I might set it up now.
Get the 7D fuel scoop for that.
Yeah, I'm gonna actually make it kind of multi-optional, but I'll base it around kind of how you play the game. So, but I'll make it kind of multi-use at the same time.
Let's see, 50% speed.
Have you ever played anything like Microsoft Flight Simulator?
No, because I've only just got a joystick. I'm thinking of buying a hotel setup. Because of this game. I played War Thunder, which is very sim orientated.
Is that an airplane one, no?
Yeah. It's only a small one.
There's some semi-cheap ones on Amazon, but in England, I'll be honest with you, it's better to shop around the actual shops in England because electronical products in England are so cheap.
Yeah, there we go. Small data survey. Worth about 30 grand.
How are you doing, Boss Drum? Welcome to the stream. Nothing much interesting today. Oh, hang on. I'm gonna have to pause my game because my my joystick just lost connection, so that's why I was doing those crazy spins. Not really doing anything super interesting today. I'm just flying back to the bubble.
You know how people want to walk about in the ships and in the stations?
Yeah.
I don't want them. I don't want it.
I don't think it's possible in this engine, to be honest. I think you'd have to build a whole new engine.
How many people are going to walk their pilots out onto the landing platforms just to stop other people landing?
Yeah. It's part of it that I used to like with X3, I think it was. I used to quite like it, but I can take it or leave it, to be honest. It's a pain in the arse on Star Citizen for the creators, so...
Yeah. You can't do it. This engine won't handle it. You're turning it into something it's not. But that's my wink. I've got a lot of them.
Haven't we all?
Told you I was opinionated.
I would like to see inside the stations, but...
He doesn't think it's worth it neither.
I'd like to look around in the stations, but I think it would be way too much work, because they're not just cities, they're like small countries.
Yeah. And once you've done it once, what are you going to do then?
I haven't got a video feed, Boss Drum, because I wasn't actually really planning on chatting. It's just kind of because we're winged up, so... that wouldn't be a bad game, would it?
I think Star Citizen's going to be that. Going around the station shooting each other.
Yeah, I don't know exactly how they're going to implement the different parts of it, because it is going to be...
Yeah, stealing somebody else's ship. See what I mean? Humanity never changes. What a waste of time.
Well, it's funny you should say that, because I always think, because all of the good I find in grouping up with people in computer games sometimes, there's far too many groups out there who just want to watch the game burn.
Yeah.
And that's their entertainment.
Right. Bear that one in mind. You know the Smiling Dog crew? Harry Potter and co?
Yes, I remember them, yeah.
Right, now there's a video out there, I'm not sure if it's Yannick that runs it, where Harry Potter is actually flying around one of the barnacle forests with his ship, smashing them. Yeah?
Right, yeah.
Now, for no reason, not collecting the stuff off them, just smashing up the forest. It was shortly after that the stations got raided.
Ah, okay, so I was just thinking why was he doing it, and that just popped into my head when you said it.
So the Fargoys didn't attack the stations for nothing. They were retaliating for the destruction of their barnacle forest.
By one player.
I'm not saying it's true, but it fits.
No, it does. It fits it. It fits it, and I'm pretty sure the intention by Frontier was probably over farming would bring the same thing about.
This is what I mean. There's a deeper plot to this game than just pew pew.
Oh yeah, yeah, definitely. I mean, there's I don't know how long their plan is actually. I think maybe they've got they want it to survive kind of this generation of computers.
Well, I think yeah, we know Cyber likes Daka. That's why I said you were military. We have to keep him on a short leash.
I think it's the thing is that you've got to have that space. This is like kind of what I was saying before about there's another game I play called The Division, and one of the only ways you can get certain equipment within that game is by going into a player versus player specific area. But every time you enter that area, there is just marauding Russians griefing it, and it's almost impossible to get in and out with the equipment that you need. And whereas the people who make the game try to balance it, and they try to make it better, the griefers then just find a way around it and keep going, so they can never quite fix it.
Yeah, Cyber, I tried Eve once, but I found it too complicated at the start. I just did not understand what I was looking at on that screen.
Actually, that's what I said to him the other day. I didn't mind the look of it. I didn't love the look of it, but I didn't mind it. I thought it was pretty good looking. But that first time you load it up and look at that page, that's really off-putting.
Yeah, you go, what the? No, I think I'll go back to Minecraft. That might be why Cyber likes Daka. If he's come from the Eve games, then that'll be his forte.
He might have been one of the big griefers. He might have been that guy who stole a £3 billion ship. I don't know if you ever heard that story. I think it was a 3 billion credit ship or something. I don't know if you heard that. Sorry, I've had my mic off there. He might have been the guy who stole a $3 billion ship. I don't know if you know that story.
No.
Some guy made friends with a group. It took him nearly. I mean, this is how evil the plan was, because I think it took him 2 years or something. So you can borrow people, you can lend people your ships, and obviously nobody's going to lend you their £3 billion ship. So he kind of just he would borrow his friends' small ships, take them for a couple of weeks, bring them back, be on his way doing whatever he was doing. Then he'd come back another time and say, "Oh, can I borrow that one?" And they'd be like, "Well, yeah, okay, you did all right with the first one," until they gave him like the most expensive ship in the fleet, and he buggered off with it.
Oh, is the one of the commanders, one of the leaders of one of the factions, defected with all the money as well?
It's so strange, but it's funny and it's sad at the same time.
One of the, like a president of an entire faction, one of the really big factions, said, right, defected and took all the money. Maybe Cyber knows about it.
Maybe he's the one that did it.
He's hiding in Elite Dangerous.
Yeah, he's hiding in the Elite universe now.
There you go.
What did he say? I've missed it. I was typing in the YouTube feed. I missed what he said. Hang on. I love it how it's their own fault just because they were being nice with somebody they assumed was their friend. I suppose not, actually. talking to somebody about that not long ago about Discord, about not giving your moderators too much power on Discord.
I've been a moderator on a forum, and it's very easy. You know, you appoint a new moderator. Always their first question is, how do I ban somebody?
Yeah.
And you've got to try and teach them the idea is not to ban people, but just to tone it down so that they stay. You don't want to throw everyone off the forum.
I hang around. Sorry, go on.
Well, that's what everyone wants to do. How do I ban someone? Well, don't ban them.
Yeah,
It's one of those things.
I frequent a forum of a sports team that I like, and the forum was purely built because they wanted kind of a ruleless forum, because the previous forums that we'd all been hanging around on, you'd get a new moderator come on who just didn't agree with either something politically you were talking about or just something in general that you were talking about, and he'd start banning people left, right and centre.
Yeah.
So they then went out and created their own forum, but that's kind of snowballed into a nightmare because they have zero rules. So
Oh dear.
they lost all their money from advertising because there was a naked
like
pictures section.
Yeah.
And I mean, they are some of the funniest people I've ever communicated with, and I like being a part of that forum, but they've got no way of monetizing it, and as it grows, it's costing them much more.
Well, we'll give Cyber the access to the wallet on that forum, and no doubt he'll nick anything in.
And then blame us for trusting him.
Yeah, blame us. Going AFK for 2 minutes.
Okay. He's a good chap, really, I'm sure.
Frameshift drive charging.
No Jesus talk tonight, Bostrom. I hope you're not too disappointed. Sorry if I'm a bit late replying. I'm trying to do 3 million things at once here, so it's taking me a few seconds to see stuff. I need to learn to turn my microphone off in game as well. Alright, so I'm going to do a loop of this star because I've just realised I'm not far off running on fuels. He was a guy who obviously believes himself. He believes he's been genuine. I suppose he does. And I suppose I don't know what to make of it, but he had some strange ideas to do with connections of things, but that's maybe I haven't read enough about that stuff. How much are you up to now from the scanning? Ah, that makes sense, Cyber. I don't even know if I'd give anybody else access to it. In that sense, unless I had a CFO or something.
Fuel skip disengaged. Frameshift drive charging.
Well, I'm definitely making good ground. I'm in the good numbers here, I think. Yeah, it's a hard one. I mean, people have said to me, you know, if you're gonna get serious about all this stuff, you've got to know how to run your Discord. You've got to know if you're gonna run your own message board. You need to know all about that, because if you give some people power, too much power, they can kind of go a bit funny with it. And I don't know. I've just started kind of reading about moderator powers on Discord. And the chat moderation in YouTube isn't really that important yet. Oh, that's good. 130 mils, pretty good. Have you got your Explorer kitted out? Yeah, well, I think that's where they made the mistake in Eve, didn't they? Because it's not real money, so maybe they weren't treating it as such, which was maybe a stupid thing to do. Might as well just link the camera up, to be honest. Don't suppose it actually makes a big difference. Oh, that one. Sorry about that. Put it opposite the chat.
Frameshift drive charging.
Well, that's good. So at least you got some a good jump distance. So are you still on the on the road to riches? He didn't say that, did they? I think in a good way. Still reaching back from... I don't know. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 12 13 14 15 16 17 18 19 20 21 22 23 24 25 26 27 28 29 30 31 32 33 34 35 36 37 38 39 40 41 42 43 44 45 46 47 48 49 50 51 52 53 54 55 56 57 58 59 60 61 62 63 64 65 66 67 68 69 70 71 72 73 74 75 76 77 78 79 80 81 82 83 84 85 86 87 88 89 90 91 92 93 94 95 96 97 98 99 100 101 102 103 104 105 106 107 108 109 110 111 112 113 114 115 116 117 118 119 120 121 122 123 124 125 126 127 128 129 130 131 132 133 134 135 136 137 138 139 140 141 142 143 144 145 146 147 148 149 150 151 152 153 154 155 156 157 158 159 160 161 162 Yeah, well, I think one of the things in Eve is the money's kind of worth money, isn't it? Oh, you're getting up there then, Boss Drum. What's that? Maybe halfway through now.
Frameshift drive charging.
I remember back in the days of Warcraft, you used to be able to buy stuff on eBay. Like gold and stuff, I think, from Chinese people who'd mined it. I always thought that was crazy.
Fuel skipping. Fuel skip disengaged. Frameshift
I wonder if you can get someone to fly you out to Sagittarius. You know, just sit in front of the camera pretending like you're playing. Did you see that? Sorry, I'm talking to the blooming wall here. I didn't even turn my microphone on. I was wondering if you could pay them to fly your ship to Sagittarius. To sit back drinking with your feet up.
fuel skipping.
Did you hear about that guy recently as well who got away with, he live streamed on YouTube one of the Ultimate Fighting Championship contests, and one of the ways he got around it was by, he put a video of him as he was watching it, but he just sat with a PlayStation 4 controller in his hand pretending to play a game. So I guess the systems at YouTube weren't really looking properly and just thought he was actually playing an actual game. An absolute evil genius.
Fuel skipping. Warning. Temperature critical.
Oh, I was going to make a joke of that before you corrected it. I was going to make a joke of that before you corrected it.
Warning. Temperature
Just trying to think one up.
disengaged.
Going back to the bubble, Elbereth, so it's what, 213 now. It's I don't know if I'm going to get it done today.
Drive charging.
Oh, that's a true American way. Outsourcing your own job, that's brilliant.
4, 3, 2,
We ended up smashing our ships into Sagittarius A because it cut out a huge chunk of the way back. So I'm kind of here just getting on with it. I might be able to get it done today if I'm really lucky. I think CyberSec's just playing really loud music and jumping at high heat levels.
Frameshift drive charging.
You have to give the guy credit, Bostrom. I mean, you know, if you can get a company to pay you, and then you outsource the work, you're just living a capitalist dream, aren't you?
Fuel skipping. Disengaged.
Are you back yet, Tov?
Yeah.
Do you keep a list of any of the, do you keep a list of all the places you stay, or do you just bookmark them? Sorry, stay, all the places you visit, or do you just bookmark them?
One sec. Messing me up. The systems I've been through. No, I don't bother.
Oh, really? So, like, well, maybe I'm mixing it up in something I'm thinking about. I visited what was called a tourist station, and it kind of looked a bit like Blackpool when you arrived there.
There's one near a neutron star, isn't there?
Yeah, that's the one I was at. There's a neutron star, and I think there's 2 black holes.
Yeah, I've heard of it. I've not been there.
I have got it bookmarked somewhere. I just need to find it out, because I've bookmarked the system rather than the galaxy map.
Yeah.
It was superb.
No, personally, I don't bother with. I've been playing solo. There didn't seem much point.
Frameshift drive charging.
The place I want to find where it is, I saw it on the forum where Sauron's Eye.
Is that a white dwarf as well?
No, well, it's a planetary nebula. That means it's a nebula that does. I don't think it shows on the galaxy map. It's entirely within that system. But it looks, evidently, it looks almost exactly like the Eye from Lord of the Rings.
Ah, right, okay.
And I saw it on the forum and I keep thinking, must have a trip there one day.
Yeah, I was reading about planetary nebula. I don't know if is there 3 or something, or is there more? I was reading something on Reddit, I think it was.
Loads.
Oh, there is?
There's loads of them. You have to look on the forum where the more dedicated explorers have put the info up.
Yeah. I do. It's I try one of the new videos that I'm thinking of making actually once a week is like the top 5 most interesting posts. So I'm trying to get used to reading Reddit, but some days there's just so many posts come through. It's so hard to keep track.
No, I'm in the actual Elite Forum, Elite Dangerous Forum.
Oh, on Frontier, right?
Yeah. They post all the planetary nebula, Earth-like worlds, and places to go on there.
Oh, I'll have to have a look at that then. Might give some good ideas of these kind of wing trips.
Yeah. I wouldn't rely on Reddit.
The reason I normally go on Reddit is because I know it's a one-stop shop for a lot of people, so they won't even go near the Frontier forums because they have to make a new login and everything. Whereas if you've got one Reddit login, you can use it for all your games.
I hear you. Makes sense.
Plus, I'm sometimes a bit funny about posting on official forums because I think it was CyberSec I was explaining the other night. There's a game called Football Manager, which I think I can't remember which version it was, but one of the versions I basically kind of cracked the match engine, but not in a cheating way. I did it through tactics. So I had a little book with all these tactics and when to use them and whatnot, and I used to be able to pretty much beat anybody. And I made a massive post on their forums to help people because I felt it was a legitimate way of doing it because you were doing it tactically. And then the year after, they came out with this kind of new tactics engine with a much more fluid and changeable system. So I knew that somebody had obviously read it and thought, oh shit, that's gonna break. Well, yeah, or people are going to be able to take advantage of the game, so we're going to get rid of it. So I've never shared anything again with them.
Well, I don't really say where I've been. When you go there, and you can pick up the location. You know, just write down the location on a piece of paper and go.
Yeah.
I should imagine a lot of the explorers would be happy if you went there because that'd mean their trip wasn't completely wasted.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. The other thing is there's not a lot of really good kind of exploration websites out there. There's some websites where you can clock your finds and whatnot, which I think is pretty good. I think it's Captain's Log is one of them. But when I've gone looking for websites to find specific places to visit, there's not a ton of information. So I will check out the Frontier forums and see what it looks like on there.
Yeah, you just check out the exploration area or the lore or things like that. You see, there's a lot of guys role-playing at explorers on there.
Yeah.
And they show all the pictures of places they've been, and some of them are absolutely stunning. One of these days I'll get my camera to work properly.
I've got it somewhere near, but there's a few, if you look at the camera suite options, there's a few things in there to actually really truly mess about with it. It's obvious that Obsidian Ant has his set up really well.
Oh, but yeah, you were saying the other night, he's got it down to a fine art, hasn't he?
Yeah, he's kind of got a director's eye as well, the way he does it. It all kind of looks how it should.
I know when I use my camera, I put it on pre-camera and it wanders off. It's a galaxy all on its own. So, why didn't they just put up, down, left, right, roll?
Well, because they've got to give you... well, you can set it to kind of do that, but they want to give you much more freedom. Yeah. So it is a bit of a pain in the ass. I've got some of them set back to front, so it takes me a few minutes to get it set up, but not. It's getting faster every day now.
Come on, give me another Earth-like. Direction, I knew it. I thought so. It's very easy to sometimes get yourself turned round. And when you think you're heading out from the bubble, you're actually heading back into it.
Right. Yeah, why is that not? Even the galaxy map manages to piss me off most days. No, didn't want to do that.
To go diagonally out and down. I keep getting yourself turned round and being diagonally back towards the bubble. I don't want to do that.
You're actually...
Big help that they expanded the waypoint, taking up like 2,000 light years.
Yeah.
On one leg. When I first started doing it, you could only do about 500 light years. And it was murder in the centre of the galaxy. Gotta go from system to system.
Yeah, I've only been playing it, I think for a year, but even when I first came on, plotting routes, for me it felt like a nightmare. I could still only go, especially when I had a lot of locked systems that for some reason the route planner would, instead of trying to plot around those systems, it would try and plot through them.
Yeah. Well, you saw the galaxy centre, didn't you?
Yeah.
Imagine trying to plot through that.
Yeah, it'd have been an absolute nightmare.
You haven't looked at those traffic reports yet, have you?
No, I haven't yet. The ones on Live.
No.
Ah.
It's called traffic reports. It's on YouTube, and it's where you can see everybody's a white dot travelling across the galaxy.
Oh, I remember you talking about that. Yeah. I'll check it out. Actually, I'll check it out.
And the first one, the very first one, when it kicked off, was everybody was flying around the bubble. Yeah. And you get one or two that go a couple of thousand light years out, then shoot back to the bubble because they've gone too far.
Right.
Then all of a sudden, for no apparent reason, somebody just goes, sod this, and straight for the core. And you just see this one single little white dot heading to the core before anybody else. I would love to have been in.
Yeah, I think some people. There's the most recent ones I can think about is Lars Hansen or whatever his name is. I think it's Lars Hansen. He was doing a dash to Beagle and back, so I think he's trying to do it in record time or something.
Yeah.
There's somebody. There was somebody who did a Beagle Point run over Christmas who ended up having to be saved by the fuel rats. I can't remember what that one was about actually. And
that's the mug. They were trying to throw a mug as far out as possible.
Right.
You know, from Hutton Truckers. Yeah.
Yep.
They had one of the mugs, and there's some sort of internal thing like, where can you leave one of these mugs? And they decided to put it right out past Beagle Point.
Oh, right, yeah, that was it, yeah. They were going to eject it, weren't they?
Yeah. And the fuel rats had to basically stay up all night to reach them.
Yeah, it's mental. I mean, those fuel rats, they do a really good job in that sense.
They are gods in this game.
I'd say to people sometimes, somebody said to me the other day, oh, it's just easier to log out, to destroy the ship. And I said, yeah, but the experience of being saved by them is actually pretty good.
Yeah. And there's a guy outside of mine like this, stripped out his anaconda, turned it into a flying fuel tank. No fuel scoop.
Right.
Yeah?
Yeah.
No fuel scoop. Basically just a jump. The engine's thrusters and the fuel tank, and he went from the bubble to Colonia without refueling.
Blooming heck. Was he doing it by the neutron highway as well?
No, he didn't use the neutron highway.
How has he managed that then? Do you have to keep your jumps down to a minimum or something so you're not using the fuel up?
He must have engineered the hell out of it. But, yeah. He made it to Colonia without refueling.
That's amazing.
That was in an Anaconda.
And that's what I like about games like this, is that people set themselves challenges like that. I heard about a group who were planning on doing a circuit of the Milky Way. But
That's been done.
Oh, it has been
Guys
done.
Yeah. If you watch those traffic reports, you'll see them.
Right.
It's worth it just for the laugh. They're only about 5 minutes long.
I will. I'm gonna. I was gonna look at it a minute ago actually, and then I started looking at something else.
Oh, it's too easy that on YouTube. That looks interesting. I'll watch that instead.
Yeah, exactly. Traffic report.
Elite dangerous traffic reports. You just see someone get bored and go, right, I'm going to the call.
Yeah.
And off he goes all on his own.
Well, yeah. I mean, I kind of did it because I thought if I don't do it now, I'm worried that I'd get maybe I wouldn't want to do it later on. So, so I kind of just thought, no, I'm going to do it this week. If I'm lucky, I can get back within a week. And look, I think it looks like it's going to be that way. So, oh yeah, that's pretty good.
You see watching it now?
Yeah, I'm watching it now. Yeah, actually, I'll link it in the feed for anybody who's watching in the feed. Browsers, no browser source, no. Yes, browser.
See how I've just found a large survey data.
A large survey data.
Survey data.
What am I doing here? No, that's the wrong one. I really look like I don't know what I'm doing half the time. Where is it? Window capture, that's the one. Okay, yep. Right, so I'll run it from the beginning so anybody who's watching in the live stream will be able to see it.
I think they bring one out about every quarter.
Okay, stream. Okay. Some of them are. I didn't realise there was that many people kind of. Is this a traffic report for the whole of time, or is it a traffic report just for the month?
For that month. I think they bring one out every quarter.
Right. I'm actually surprised at how many people go to the core. I wasn't expecting to see as many people doing that, but even there's a lot of people. There's quite a few people circumnavigating the
Yeah.
the Milky Way. I mean, I'd expect one or two people to be doing it. It's really strange to watch.
No, being disrespectful or trying to be clever, you learn a lot about where to go, where not to go. You know, if you're exploring,
Yeah.
don't go where everybody else has gone.
Yeah, I think you know, there's certain places that if you're gonna play the game seriously or take the game seriously, you've got to kind of visit them. So I think that for me, you know, like the Centre of the Core is one of them. I'll probably do a trip out to Colonia at some point, but I'll probably do that mixed with something else. I need to find a reason to go out that way. But I agree with you on the part of the whole explorations part. Like, I've got what's the word? In my map, I always click unvisited stars. So I don't think that means anybody else necessarily. I think it's just for yourself. But I try not to go back on anywhere I've already been.
But I haven't looked at that. No, I've never actually used that.
Ah, right. Yeah, it's in the. I think it's in the kind of planetary systems one. It's in the drop down. I didn't even know if it was a recent addition because I hadn't noticed it before, to be honest. Just have a quick look. Is it in the star class? Yeah, in the star underneath star class, there's the option of visited stars.
Where is that visiting stars? I've seen it.
You go into your filters, so where you've got it probably filtered by star class or economy or whatever, and it's the final option at the bottom. And it's like visited stars, and then you can select not visited and apply to route.
Frameshift drive charging.
Ah, there we go, got it.
But I think it's interesting because even when you're leaving the bubble, you can probably tag a few places that you haven't been through. Oh, by the way, I was talking to myself there. I didn't have the microphone turned on at all. This is my big problem. So I was saying, I was actually telling you how to find it, but never mind. You found it.
Yeah, I found it.
Frameshift drive charging.
Right, boys, I'm just going to take a slight break for a coffee. A bit parched here. I'll do it after this jump, actually.
Be Cyber in charge.
Yeah, I'll give him the bank account number just before I leave.
View sweeping.
Right, back in a jiff. What are you making then? What, in the big book?
Not mine. Mine. I don't never. Yeah, because he's the one that gets on that.
Well,
So I don't never. We say I don't ever.
right.
You know, do something. Yeah. We say,
No, unless it comes to say that, you know, I don't never.
no, I don't never.
That's
I like don't ever. I don't never. What's before? This place is after.
not a man's. Man's before you. It's hard, Claire, when you're asking because I don't know that it's. I don't. It's not that I don't know, it's that I don't calculate things in English. It's typically somewhere saying that sing. The say a lot.
Frameshift drive charging.
I should actually set up a donation thing, Tov, just so that people can donate to buy me a new chair.
Fuel scooping.
Hey, you know what you were saying about how the galaxy is supposed to be capitalist?
Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
Fuel sync disengaged.
Yeah.
How many ship makers are there? There's those at Alioth, which is the Alliance. You've got Lakon.
I think there's 4.
So where's all the Teslas and the Morgans and the Larders?
Well, because it's a capitalist system, isn't it? This is the high end of capitalism, so they've all been driven into the ground and bought out. That would be my thought on it.
I still think there should be some independence now and then that come off. Like you say, they get bought out, but for 6 months they're throwing out a new ship. That actually might be good paid content.
Well, I've said this before, even for unpaid content, I think the grind would be a little less difficult for some people if they were able to enjoy it in a nice new shiny ship every now and again and not have to pay through the nose. I think what they should do actually is the ships themselves probably shouldn't cost that much money, but the modules should be really high in price, so you can kind of try before you properly buy and stuff like that.
Yeah. I think it's Cybermite to be able to tell you this. He uses the Anaconda more than me. The power unit, the power transformer, or the Anaconda actually cost, the top one cost more than the Anaconda.
Yeah, I mean, some of those prices are just crazy when you're getting into those bigger ships. And the worst thing, the worst thing about it is some people don't think about the rebuy cost when they're upgrading as well. And there's a few people I've met along the way who've done themselves in simply because they put in an upgrade and didn't really think about the rebuy.
And now they're flying the Sidewinder again.
Exactly, and that must be absolutely heartbreaking.
I like the Anaconda for the space, but I find it so clumsy and poor visuals and stuff in it coming out of the bloody letterbox.
Yeah, that happens a lot. The Type 10's just as bad as well.
Is it?
Yeah, the Type 10's an absolute pig.
The Orca.
I do have one, I think.
That can do... Oh really? Oh yeah. Dakka again. Yeah, it's not quite as good as the Aspect Explorer, Conda and the DBX, but it comes in a good form. I tried the Type 10. It didn't do it for me. It just didn't seem to do anything. It was just a big ship. But I was misusing it.
I suppose if you get decent thrusters on it, it might improve it a little bit. I use a stock one, apart from the fact that I'll upgrade the FSD for the jump, and then I upgrade the cargo space. But other than that, it's pretty much stock.
Dakka. Give me a break.
I'm going to have to change this button over to push to talk, because I'm pushing it and silencing myself and then speaking, and then pushing it again, not speaking, and having the TV come through.
That's a good program.
It's going to go get that coffee. It's ready, I think.
I will. There was a reason for it.
We're gonna have over. We don't need to go in there.
We do. She gets into
No.
were actually really hard to clean. I thought it was just a white clean one, and then I was like, no, went back quite a lot. But even actually the metal part's actually easy to clean as well. Plastic. Don't worry, I'm not going to leave it. Oh, I've got it. You didn't want to toast it away, everyone cheats. Oh, yeah, sweet. Okay.
I hear you.
Frameshift drive charging.
Right, I'm going to play around with these controls with a push to talk. Oi. There we go. So where's the push to talk?
I couldn't find it either.
Oh, hang on, I can't read that. Hang on. Okay, cheers. Oh no, yeah, kind of knew that. What am I doing? I knew that. I know you've posted since then, so. Miscellaneous. Microphone mute, yeah, but do you have it as automatic mute and then a button for release? Is that the way round you'd set it?
I think it would be. You mute it, then press it again. You've got to find another key. I need a bigger keyboard.
How I had it set before was I would have to click it twice, so I'd click it on and then I'd click it off again, without actually pushing it down, and it feels alright, but then sometimes it didn't seem to unclick. So let's have a look. Ah, okay, there's a push to talk. Okay, yeah, there is. Okay, so a strange place to put it. Push to talk, push to talk. Okay, yeah, that seems to have got it now. Oh, Elbereth, I don't even know how I managed to get to the middle of the galaxy. I really don't, if I can't find what the push to talk button is.
Frameshift drive charging.
I'm surprised I didn't just smash into the first star I came across.
Yeah, there's nobody on CQC.
Ready to engage. 4, 3, 2, 1, engage.
I had it set up a little bit different, Elbereth. I had it set up so that it actually turned your mic on when you press the button, so you'd have to press it again to go off. But I was kind of using it on a push to talk basis, so I had it just set wrong, that was all.
Fuel scoop disengaged. Frameshift drive charging.
Where's he gone? Has he gone back to his seat?
Fuel scooping.
it's funny you should say that. For me, it's the left control key because I don't know why, but when I fly, I tend to fly like I do in Microsoft Flight Simulator. So you know how the pilots, when they're doing stuff, they generally have their one arm in it on the windowsill. So I've always got my hand kind of resting in that area. So it's actually a really good spot for me. Like if I'm not watching TV or something, then I can just turn it off because I have the mic set up to just pick up when you talk. So
Frameshift drive charging.
are you wanting Elbereth? You wanting a program to send you data to EDDB? Is that what you mean?
Fuel scooping. Fuel scoop disengaged.
Yeah, you want to run. Do you know what? I've not Elite Dangerous Market Connector. So I think the EDMC. It's a nice little thing that.
Frameshift drive charging.
So I'll put it in the chat here.
Fuel scooping. Fuel scoop disengaged.
Jeez Louise.
Frameshift drive charging.
I bet you are. We'll probably never hear your voice again.
Ready to engage. Four, three, two, one. Engage.
I'd really actually like to try the William Shatner one. I didn't like Star Trek. I just like his voice, and also the fact that he's a underrated comic genius. William Shatner. He's hilarious when he's on Saturday Night Live.
Fuel scoop disengaged.
I wasn't just randomly shouting no at you there, Alvarez.
Frameshift drive charging.
Oh, it's this crap. Just so you know. It's a TV series. Yeah.
Oh no. I mean, you might like it, so I'd at least watch an episode.
I started painting walls just to watch it dry.
No, I don't hear you.
No, I didn't hear you.
I'm gonna try and get my jump on a little bit. I've slowed down. There's different ones, isn't there? But there's I don't know. Does the Amazon one do it? Alexa or whatever it's called. Actually, there's a company up there in Utah called Vivint Smart Home. They do something along those lines. Yeah, let's see if your toilet goes into Super Cruise. I will try and get around to that program video tomorrow, Elbereth, because I know I've been saying I'd do it for days, but I wanted to do it while I was back in the bubble, just so I can show how a few things work. Otherwise, I can't actually show how they work.
Wait. Hey, get off the table. He's only doing that because I'm this far away. You better. I'll throw him up. He's got his ass on the coffee table.
Ah, there you go. Some of them will be pretty good. Either that or you say frame shift drive and your Google car goes careening off down the street, taking out your neighbours. Yeah, exactly. I was actually thinking about those driverless cars the other day. I was thinking, a business idea is to create like a curtain set almost for the inside of your car, so that when you put it in self-drive and you've got an hour's commute or whatever, you can just put the shutters up on your windows and have an extra hour in bed.
Net curtains on your car?
Not net curtains, but you know, some type of curtain that keeps the light out. Maybe crushed velvet or something. But you know, just so you can get that extra bit of kip on the way to work. Well, I've actually seen one of those Vivint smart homes at work, and yeah, they're pretty amazing. I think there's one where you can tell it to flush, which is just pure laziness, but alright, Albert, I'll catch you later. Thanks for popping by the stream. Jettison Biowaste. That would be pretty good. I was actually going to say something about taking a dog for a walk and hearing the wife scream, but I don't think that's appropriate.
What do you think he's doing? Yeah, we have. Look at him staring at her. He's in the hours.
Come on, give me something to scam this time.
Do you have any specific things that you do to look for Earth worlds or water worlds?
Yeah. One sec. Well, there's nothing here, but I'm going to scan it anyway.
Right.
I find whites, blue whites, have the highest yield of scannable objects. Red dwarfs are mostly just ring gas giants, dust balls and snowballs.
Right.
Actually, you know, like our system, the G series,
Yeah.
on the main sequence, I find they don't have much. Like I said, it's the blues, the blue whites, and the whites that have all the water worlds and terraformables.
Ah, right. Okay. See, last week.
That's why.
So go on.
Yeah. When you go out, you've really got to go. Trying to explore near the bubbles quite often wasting time. You've got to go 1 or 2k out before you'll find anything not claimed.
Right.
Especially if you go for Earth-likes or terraformables.
Yeah, because there was one day I was doing a trip back from somewhere, I think, and I was scanning for like Earth-like worlds and water worlds. I specifically only chose M-class stars. I was kind of trying to look for somewhere, like a system somewhere similar to Earth. To our system, sorry.
Well, we're in the G0 Yellow Dwarf.
Oh right, okay. I don't know why I thought it was an M class then. Okay.
No, that's a G class.
Well, that's my fault for not doing my homework then. No wonder. Oh, do you know what? That's tempting now. I've got like 180 odd jumps to go. That's doable. Maybe I should change my... I'm going to have a look at my galaxy map.
This is the big argument on the forums. They all say you can explore in any ship. Yes, you can if you're willing to hit every single system on the way to your destination. But if you're actually exploring, looking for Earth-likes, or water world, or ringed Earth-likes, I found one of them once, jumping from system to system, you know, like 200 jumps to get somewhere is, it's not doable. We need a big jump range. You need a 30 plus minimum.
Yeah, absolute minimum as well, because I mean, I wouldn't...
Otherwise, you can't get anywhere.
Yeah, no, you're right. I mean, I was saying the other night, I kind of doffed my hat to Cyber for the fact that he came out with one. I think he's 31.2 or something. I can't remember now. Which is too low for me.
I'm using a 30. But yeah, if I want to go to my blue white, I quite often have to go through 3 or 4 reds, you know, which are nothing, or T-Touring, to get there. But this ship's the only small one that'll carry everything I want. It actually hasn't got a repair limpet, which I actually would like to carry.
Oh, didn't check the system map there. Just stars.
It's just one of the great big arguments on the forum where they're just not willing to have a ship that'll jump anywhere. They screamed about the Type 9.
Yeah, I know, we were having a chat about that the other night because it just seems ridiculous. I couldn't care less if you can jump 100, 200 light years per jump. It doesn't bother me. I'm going to go out and do what I'm doing.
If Cyber wants 32 guns on his ship, go for it. It's his ship. Why should I object?
Yeah, exactly. It doesn't make sense.
Clipping the wings of those who cannot fly. Or clipping the wings because they cannot fly. I don't know. I've seen the arguments and it was like white noise to me. It didn't make any sense. All you need for exploring is a fuel scoop, a jump, an FSD, and a scanner. That's exploring. No, it's not. That's tourist.
Yeah. And I mean, if you really truly want to do exploration, you've got to kit your ship out. I mean, I brought an SRV.
Anyway, that's my rant.
No, you're right. I mean, sorry, I did it again. I'm not pressing the button. No, you're absolutely right in what you're saying. Like, when I came out here, we brought SRVs. Cyber brought a wing fighter as well. And...
oh, they're grateful.
I mean, that should be, if you want to be a pure explorer, that should just be standard to be able to carry all that stuff. Even limpets, if you want to collect some stuff and bring samples back. Not limpets, cargo space. All of that should be standard with a 40, I don't know, maybe a 40 light year jump range.
Yeah, no argument here.
Kind of makes sense if you want to do it.
Split the ship down so that it takes damage at the drop of a hat. You know, like if you're using a lot of engineered stuff, they sacrifice integrity
Yeah.
for range or efficiency. One of the first things they take off it is the integrity. So when you come back to the bubble and you do your advanced repair, you've got a massive repair bill, even though your hull's 100%.
Yeah, I've noticed that. I mean, I only recently started checking that.
Components can't take the strain anymore.
Yeah, I noticed that. I only just started checking that recently. I'd never even noticed it before. And now every time I go to dock it, I go immediately to the advanced maintenance, which I've never looked at in the previous year until I started engineering stuff.
Well, it's dropping the integrity that makes that bill so high. And basically, I'm showing 100%, but I know for a fact I'm down to about 70% inside. Eventually, you're flying nothing more than a hollow egg.
Yeah.
You know, the hull's 100%, it's not showing any damage, though. Have a look at your things, you know, on your hit ball, and some modules, or integrity, something like that.
Yeah, I think on your modules tray it'll say like.
You look at a module and it's hammered.
Well, don't know why I've just changed.
Amazing how many people don't know. Do you know about the key for slowing your ship down? Have you ever done the loop of shame? You know, miss your target?
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah. You can set your thrust for 75%, 50%, 25%. If you set one of your keys to 75%, it will never ever leave you in the position where you've got to do the loop of shame.
Yeah, as long as you remember to press it, I suppose.
Oh, you know about it then?
Yeah, I was. It's kind of one of the things where I should use it more, but I kind of. What's the word? I have generally good control. I only do the loop of shame when I'm totally not paying attention. Sorry, I only do the loop of shame when I'm not paying attention.
No, don't be all.
So, I generally don't set that one. I have thought about it with my voice control, because I do have a voice control system, and I think it's worthwhile setting it in that.
Now I've got a key set up for, because it's handy when you're coming in, you know, to explore or scan.
Yeah.
Just hit it, and you don't miss your target.
No, absolutely. And then you've got the 50. Can't remember when you set it actually. The 51 for when you're entering a orbit, so you don't go too fast in there as well. Is it 50 or 25 you use for that one? I can't remember. I think it's 50.
I've got to go offline now anyway. It's dinner time.
Okay. Alright. Catch you later on. I'll be around for a while anyway.
Bye bye.
Bye.
See you, Cyber.
Disengaged. Frameshift drive charging. Frameshift drive charging. Frameshift drive charging. Frameshift drive charging. Four, three, two, one, engage. Frameshift drive charging. Frameshift drive charging. Frameshift drive charging. Taking heat damage. Fuel scooping. Fuel scoop disengaged. Fuel scooping. Fuel scooping complete. Frameshift drive charging.
Now I'm back.
Fuel scooping. Frameshift drive charging.
Necesitas una página.
Frameshift drive charging.
Necesitas una página.
3, 2, 1, engage. Fuel scooping. Fuel scooping complete. Fuel scooping. Fuel scooping complete. Frameshift drive charging. Frameshift drive charging. Four, three, two, one, engage. Frameshift drive charging.